All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining Mindfulness in Practice program. So this is going to be happening for 2 weeks, starting today, that is 6th June and 7th June. So this is a weekend program, and it will be for 2.5 hours per day. So in 1 week, so it will be for 5 hours. So next week, 13th and 14th June, again, it will be 5 hours. So the total duration of mindfulness in practice program is 10 hours. Apart from this, there will be loads of activities that will be given to you, because what I am looking from this program is an outcome. So that outcome is mindfulness. So now here, mindfulness is an outcome for you. Mindfulness should be the result out of this training. So that's the main purpose of this training. It's not only the theory that you will be listening to in the training program, but there will be loads of live activities that you will be doing with me, with yourself, in this training program. And I might ask you many times for you to get up, go, complete the activity, and come back. So please don't mind. I just want to make sure I set the right set of expectations so you understand. And most importantly, there are some important ground rules that you actually need to follow, right? So on a daily basis, starting today, for the next 20 days. So in total, 21 days, there will be activities given to you, so that you have to go ahead and do all those activities every single day. And you just have to spend 10 to 15 minutes to complete that activity. And those activities are going to be practical activities, which will take you very, very close to mindfulness state. So that's the most important state in our life, our mental state. That's mindfulness, right? So now the outcome of this program is mindfulness. Yeah, so that's the one important state, mind state, that you're going to achieve from this training program. All right, so let's get started with this training. And let's see, like I said, ground rules are the most important rules that we really have to follow in our lives, because in our life we are surrounded with rules in every walk of our life, right? If we follow the rules, what will happen is we can achieve better results in our life. If we don't follow rules, if we break rules, that simply means we will become the victim of that particular thing. Now, we definitely don't want to be the victim. We want to achieve a better results by following a simple rule or maybe a difficult rule. So rule is a rule. Rules are made to follow, and we have to follow the rules. It's well and good for us. And wherever we are, we are in our house. Don't you think we have set some kind of rules to follow in our house? Of course, there are rules. Let's say family members, if they follow rules, that means you will be happy. If they start breaking the rules, then you will be upset. There are set of rules even to dress. If we dress properly, that means as per the rule, we look really beautiful, decent. If we don't follow the etiquette rule, what will happen is we look crazy to people. People will not, definitely not like, they'll start criticizing and then commenting on us. Whenever we go outside of our house, we just have to follow a set of rules. That's very important, else we will get into trouble. While driving a vehicle, we have to follow a set of rules, because there are rules for each and everything in each and every walk of our life. So that's really, really important. And we have to understand the rules. Number one, we have to follow the rules. Number two, and then make sure we adhere to the rules. That's highly important. Yeah. And the standard rule in India to drive a vehicle is on the left. And if you say, you know what, I'm not going to drive on the left side, I will drive only on the right side, what will happen to you? definitely it will be a big disaster. Number one, you're hurting yourself, right? You might get hurt, your vehicle will be definitely get hurt, and people who are on the right side, and they will be definitely get hurt, and you're putting, you know, people's lives in risk. That's how it is. Yeah, and there are certain rules for the prayer. We have to follow those rules. If you don't follow those rules, what will happen is definitely our prayer will not be acceptable, right? And now if you want better results in your life, that means you have to follow the rules. If you start breaking the rules, then trust me, you will not achieve results, better results in your life. So that's something that you really need to understand. Okay, now similarly, I have set a very simple rule here in this training program. Yeah, so let me see if Nawaz is here. It's here. Okay, now always bye, can you please unmute your line? Okay, now can you tell me, just imagine a wild guess, what can be the rule here?
Switch off your mobile.
Switch off your mobile. Okay, then Khalid bhai, what do you think?
Daily we have to set some time for ourselves.
Okay, okay, very good.
Means
So then what else, what can be the other rule?
that's what, in that time we shouldn't meet our family or take our phone. Everything,
Okay,
every distraction should be kept aside, and we have to give time for ourselves.
okay, very good. But you know, my um, in this training program, you're not going to do that, trust me, because
Okay.
you know, we are part of them, they are part of our life, right? Now staying with them, we have to be mindful. I will never ask you to stay away from your kid, stay away from your this, that. No, staying, being connected with the world, you have to be mindful. That's the outcome of this program. I don't want you to get completely disconnected from the rest of the world and then try to be mindful. No, that's not going to happen. Yeah, staying connected with the world, you have to be mindful, right? Okay. All right, just 1 second. All right, the rules are really simple here. So let me help you understand what the rules are. The first rule is, please participate. Participation is highly recommended here. What will happen if you participate? Number one, you will learn. What will happen? You will learn. Then you will start sharing your own life experiences with the rest of the people here. And you will have different perspective to whatever you're learning today. You will start exploring things in a different perception, right? And most importantly, you will start creating your own stuff. So that's very important. So your participation is highly important, so make sure, please, you go ahead and start participating. Then the second rule is, please practice, because practice is the key for everything. Practice makes progress. Remember this, practice makes progress. The more you practice, the better you get at it. So you have to practice a lot. That's the secret key to become better. And finally, you have to experience mindfulness. You're participating in the training program, you're practicing, but if you're not experiencing what you are doing, you will not reap results. And it's highly important for you to please make sure, so whatever activities are given here, whatever exercises you do in this training program, you have to experience it. And now mindfulness is all about experiencing every single thing you do in your life. So that's very important, right? All right, so I have already sent this to you on WhatsApp, right? And today I am going to create a WhatsApp group, and that will be active for the next maybe 21 days, because there will be loads of activities happening. Yeah, I'll be creating a WhatsApp group today after the training program, and I'll be adding all the participants in the group, and I'll be sharing all the daily exercises in that group. So you just have to spend some time and then make sure you go ahead and complete those exercises. And also you can start sharing how you felt, what you experienced. That's the most important thing. So what I want is what you experience from that particular activity is what I would be more interested in knowing, right? I want you to experience it. That's the outcome, that's the ultimate outcome of this program. Please remember, there are amazing benefits of practicing mindfulness or being mindful in your life. Yeah, so you can see all those benefits. It's related to reducing stress, it's related to calming your mind, okay, having the clarity in your mind, increasing the productivity, increasing the energy levels. And you know what, it actually helps you to change your paradigm, the way you start thinking. It actually helps you to increase your leadership qualities. The way you think, the way you look at things, the way you observe, it completely changes your perception. That's the beauty of this mindfulness program. And most importantly, the way you connect with people will completely change, because that is what the mindfulness does, right? And there will be lots of activities which will help you to change the way you look at things, change your perception, and how you deal with different situations and so on. So that's something that you will be actually observing. Okay, all right. So before we begin discussing, different topics, I just want to understand, what is your perception, what is your understanding when it comes to mindfulness? Okay, now I want you to speak about what is mindfulness according to you, and why did you join the mindfulness program? So let's start with Khalid bhai.
Yeah, as I already discussed with you, my perception is that in whatever work we are doing, or whatever the activity we are doing in
Mm-hmm.
our daily lives, we have to completely concentrate on that one, and we have to complete it with full concentration. If we are
Okay.
driving bike, then our concentration should be completely on that.
Okay. And frankly speaking, Khalid bhai, tell me one thing. Whenever you drive a vehicle, do you think seriously you are mindful throughout the journey? Practically.
Uh,
Practically.
actually, in the past 7 8 years back, I used to be completely concentrated.
Hmm.
Now I am not able to do those things.
Right,
I
right.
practiced a lot these things, but now I am unable to do.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why again I took a session.
yeah. See, what happens basically is, the moment, while you are, driving a vehicle, okay, or maybe while you're, even traveling, what happens is our mind enters into one state called trance state. You know what? It feel like, you're driving, but suddenly, something happens and you feel like, for the past, few seconds or minutes, you were somewhere, and again your focus comes back to, yes, I'm driving right now. Has this happened to you? It
Yeah,
happens
yeah, it
many
happens. It
times.
happens sometimes. Yeah.
Everyone always. By, how about you?
Yeah, same. Sometimes we keep doing unconsciously, and suddenly we come back to that,
Exactly.
even while
So
working
what is
also.
mindfulness according to you? What is your understanding when we say mindfulness?
Mindfulness is knowing what you're doing. So you need to have a full control of what you're doing,
Okay.
and be involved in what you're doing completely.
Right.
And yeah, so that is what.
There are two things. Okay. See, whatever you said is right, but there are two things. One is doing things consciously, and then doing things unconsciously. There are two things, right? But the question is, do you want to do it consciously, or do you want to do it unconsciously?
Consciously.
Consciously.
Mm.
And whenever you are driving, right,
Mm.
you're consciously driving. Okay. And whenever you hit the, whenever you hit, especially not, the traffic, forget, whenever you're in the traffic, you're driving consciously. Okay. Whenever you're in public, you're conscious about it. But whenever you hit the highway, right, now that skill of driving has entered into the unconscious state. you know you're applying the brake as in when automatically, your feet is working, then your hand is working, it's, taking care of the different gears, and then, it's going, even though, you have entered into the trance state, unconsciously you start driving. That's something that's a different one, right? And Nawaz, how about you? Please unmute your line. You can also switch on the camera. Nawaz? Okay, I can't hear you. Anyways, now let me help you understand more details about mindfulness, right? And now, mindfulness is a process of moment to moment awareness. Okay, mindfulness is nothing but it's a moment to moment awareness on something. In the question is, in what way? In non-judgmental way, in an acceptable way. So people are in mindful state. They are mindful when they are aware of every moment of their life in a non-judgmental way, as well as in an acceptable way. They accept things as it is and they stop judging. That means they are in a mindful state. So that's how it is. And you know what? Our body is in a mindful state. This planet is in a mindful state. The universe is in a mindful state. The kids are always in a mindful state. Our heart is pumping blood. It is mindful. That's why it is pumping blood. The moment it stops being mindful, you know what happens? It's gone. Our lungs are in a mindful state. Our lungs knows when to breathe and when not to breathe. The moment it stops being mindful, then we are in a trouble. Our life is stuck between our mind and a matter. Whenever we mind, it really matters a lot. And the moment we don't mind, nothing matters to us. Yeah. So now mindfulness, here in this program, mindfulness is actually an outcome, but not the process. The process exists, it's there, but what we are looking in our life from this program is we want mindfulness to be as an outcome in our life, as a result. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I see Nawaz bhai. And tell me one thing, always bhai. Why are we looking for mindfulness? Is it because it's not in our life?
It is unconsciously there, but not completely. So
Okay.
sometimes it will be there, sometimes it will not be there.
See, people look for so many things in their life. Happiness. Does that mean happiness is missing in their life or it exists in their life?
It will be there.
It is there.
It will be there.
Happiness is there, right? But
but
what do you think has
but they
happened?
don't enjoy to the highest level.
Huh. Now, the question is, don't you think sadness has dominated over happiness?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now, mindfulness is always there because kids, they're the biggest example. They are completely mindful. They're aware about each and every moment. They know. You give one chocolate to or ice cream to a kid, and you also eat with him, and who is enjoying the most? It's the kid, to the highest level. And we're simply eating, that's it. We're not experiencing it, but who is experiencing it? It's the kid, highest level, to the highest level. Mindfulness is already there, but something has dominated mindfulness. And what is that? Which is stopping us to be mindful. And what is that? It's the distraction. We're living in the age of distraction. 21st century, it's the age of distraction. And we are getting distracted every single moment, and we are not able to see. When someone is mindful, that means that person is able to focus on that particular thing for a very longer time, is aware of that particular thing, right? We are not able to focus on one particular thing right now. The reason being is because our focus quality has reduced drastically in 21st century. Earlier, the trend was people used to focus on one thing. It can be communication, it can be collaboration, it can be discussing on something. You know what? They were able to focus continuously for one thing. They had patience to listen to people and focus and understand all those things were happening, because their attention level was really higher. And now, whenever you are talking to someone, what will happen is suddenly you get distracted. You're there in front of them, and your mind starts wandering. You're talking to them again, whatever you spoke, you actually forget literally, and then you try to recall, right? And now the biggest distraction in our life is actually the technology. We thought technology is here to help us simplify our lives, but you know what, frankly speaking, it has actually made more complex. And we are the ones supposed to control the smartphones, the technology, but unfortunately that has dominated in our life, that is taking control of our lives. And now the attention span of people was 3 hours, 5 hours in the past, but now it's reduced to, not even 5 minutes. I can say it's actually lesser than 1 minute. It's actually less than 1 minute, because our mind needs something new, something different every single minute. This is what the technology has done. How about this TikTok? One best example, TikTok. People are on TikTok, and you know what? They have no patience. Not even 30 seconds they see, and they want something every 10 seconds, 15, 20, 30 seconds, something new. That is actually the biggest problem. The technology is ruining our mindfulness state. It's actually taking away many good qualities, human qualities, and something else is dominating that. And you know what? We should know how to use things properly. So that's actually something we have to learn. And you know what? We humans are actually one unique, I can say creature who has to learn everything, right? Happiness is already there, but we have to learn how to be happy. Yeah. Mindfulness is already there, but you know what? We have to learn how to be mindfulness. Health is already there, but we have to learn how to stay healthy. That energy is already there, that activeness is already there, but we have to learn how to stay active, healthy, energetic, and so on. So these are the things which are there in our lives, and there are so many unnecessary things which are dominating in our life, and we just have to make sure we use all the hidden amazing qualities to the highest level, so that nothing can dominate that, and then we can make our lives better every single day. So that's how it's going to be. Yeah. So this was a glimpse of being mindfulness, right? And we are currently in a situation where it's a pandemic, right? It's a global crisis happening everywhere across the globe. And people always, they thought, you know what, I wanted to, I want to spend time with family, I want to work from home, I want those options. But suddenly when pandemic happened, now people, they're completely confused, and they're having, the self conversation to the highest level. They never thought of it previously. They always had these small talks, small conversations, that, you know what, yeah, I have to, work from home, you know what, I want to spend my time with my family, with my children, with my family, and so on, and I want to do this, I want to do that. They had all these small plans. But when Almighty God gave an opportunity, okay, you know what, go ahead, now here is the pandemic, now work from home, and then, you know what, spend time with your family. And the people, majority of people, they don't know what to do, they're completely confused, and they're working seriously very hard. They, in the office, they used to work for, 9 hours, 10 hours, but at home they're extending like 12 hours, 13, 14 hours. OSB, what is your thoughts on this?
That is true. So whatever you are telling is true. Actually, I used to drive for 4 to 5 hours daily,
Yeah.
and still used to manage so many things. And I used to do attend some classes, some extra activities. But with this work from home since almost 2 months or more than that, I am almost all the time occupied with work.
Yeah, see,
It never ends. There
exactly,
is
that's
no
right.
stop.
इवन खालिक भाई, he told me, you know what, ऑफिस था, 10 hours काम करके वापस आ जाते, अब यहाँ पे घर से काम कर रही, we are working like from home, and then, the
Mm,
work is not completing.
correct.
वो ऑफिस में करते थे वो काम, लेकिन यहाँ पे है, work is actually, हमारा productivity जो है, it has increased.
Huh,
It
looks
has,
like that.
it has actually
Yep.
increased like 30% minimum.
Mm,
And now the companies, when they start evaluating this thing, okay, you know what, in the last 2 months, the productivity of employees actually has gone higher. So why don't we go for this? This is going to stay always by. Okay, this is not stopping now. Once they do the analysis and they say, you know what, the productivity is actually better, why should we waste our resources in the office, why should we invest so much on offices and so on, they give an option to employees, you know what, you go ahead and start working from home, and then, because you're doing great job, and the numbers show, because the corporate, what they look at is, they look at the numbers, and based on that they start taking decisions, and then finally once they evaluate all that stuff, they see what is the requirement, what is the thing needed in the office, that setup, that infrastructure will be there, and you can start accessing everything from home, and then start working on it, right? So these things are happening. But did you ever thought that, you know what, I want to do this with my kids, I want to spend my time with my family, I'm not finding time now, God has given you some time, so what is your state, what are you thinking, are you able to do all those things that you thought?
no.
No. Has it made more tougher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was going to office, I was able to do all those things. Now
See.
I'm not able to do.
Yeah, that's really sad. But you know what?
I want to go back to office now.
But you know what? Frankly speaking, that's actually not a good idea. Going back to office until the vaccination is out in on this planet. Please don't take that risk. Um, Now, there are many ways that you can actually find out to spend time with your family, kids, and then do whatever you thought with your work. That is possible. Now, you are saying, I'm not able to do that. Did you ever think why you're not able to do that? Who is stopping you? It's you who is stopping you to not to do, spend time. You're at home. You're not in office, you are at home, you can spend time with your family, you can start working, but it needs little discipline, some ground rules, as simple as that. Do you think you're always on camera? No, right? You're not on camera all the time, but you're working at the same time, you can chit chat, you can talk, yes, then of course, anyways, you're working from home, you're spending 12 hours, but 13 hours, 14 hours, but the amount of time you're spending, you can bring in your family, you can stay with them, you can talk to them, you can, of course, it's not like continuously 12 hours you're working on the same stuff. discussing the project, whatever it is, right? But yes, of course, having said this, there is something else that's going to come very, very interesting. It's a beautiful myth that I'm going to share. But that's something, when I understood that, that actually teachings or something happened, one incident in our Islamic culture as well. So that's something I'm sure you will be able to connect that quickly. And Nawaz bhai, how about you? I can't hear you. Okay, whenever you can speak, please speak. Okay, let's move on. All right, so before understanding the mindfulness framework, okay, so that's the basic foundation. So based on the mindfulness framework, so I have this mindfulness framework, and our program depends on the mindfulness framework. Yeah, and now I have something interesting here. I just want to make sure you understand this. This is a myth called the Sisyphus myth. Okay, and now it's just a myth, but when I compared this myth with our Islamic teachings or the history, this is actually a real incident happened. Okay, but what they have done is, uh, this is slightly twisted by Greeks, and now they say, as per their um, history, they say there was a king named Sisyphus. Okay, and they said this king, he cheated his death. Okay, the king named Sisyphus, he actually cheated death couple of times, and now the Greek gods, they got angry, and they took him to the mountain and they punished him. They said, okay, now you have to push the rock from down to the top peak of the mountain. Okay, and that was the punishment given to him. I'm sure right now you're able to connect the dots about Islamic history. There was one person, okay, where he used to cheat death, right? And then the angel went back, and then the angel came back, and then he started greeting. Then there was an answer given by that person, and the angel took his soul and then went back. Always, mate, are you able to connect this? Khalif bhai, how about you?
No, I didn't get.
Okay, all right, then let's try and understand this Sisyphus myth. Okay, it's simple. In Greek, there was a king named Sisyphus, and he cheated death. When the angel of death came to take his soul, he cheated him and he escaped from the death. Okay, and the god came to know, and the god punished this king. He took the king to a mountain, and this king was asked to push the rock to the top of the mountain. And as in when the king put a lot of efforts, energy, he invested so much of time, and he focused so much in pushing the rock, there was one certainty. There was one certainty that, yes, he was about to place the rock on top of the mountain. Okay, the condition was to move the rock to the top of the mountain, and then he's free from that punishment. Okay, and then he was doing that every single day. But by the time he reached to the top, the mountain slipped. What happened? The mountain slipped, and then it came back to the same place. So with this, in our lives, there are so many things. You know what the rock here is? The rock here is, in our life, it can be a relationship, it can be your work, it can be your project that you're working on, it can be the team, your team that you're handling, it can be your skill set, it can be your happiness, it can be your mindfulness. it can be your peace of mind, it can be anything, right? So in your daily life, what you're doing is, let's say this rock is your project. Now you're working so hard on the project, and the condition is you have to take this rock, this project to the toppest level, and then you have to complete it, right? Now you're pushing the rock, putting a lot of efforts, putting a lot of energy, putting a lot of time, learning new skills and applying, and then make sure you're completing, and you feel like there is a certainty. You feel like, you know, you're about to complete the project and something happens, your rock slips. Okay, maybe the client says, okay, come on, this is the mistake, you have to do this again, you have to repeat the same thing. Okay, now try to compare this myth to your personal life, and I want to share your experience. What is the rock in your life that you seriously, you know, you take one or two the topmost rocks. Okay, just take the topmost rocks. It can be your work life, it can be your relationship, it can be the happiness, it can be whatever it is, your project or your skill set or anything, maybe your presentation skill, anything, right? What is one topmost rock at present in your life that you're trying to push really, really hard, and you want to place it on top, that is make it successful, but somehow, you know, it's slipping, and again you're pushing again and again. Always, by what is that rock in your life?
Mm. In work life, I try to excel, do things well, and try to make things perfect. But yeah, something or the other keeps coming, so
Okay.
which will make us learn new things and feel that okay, we need to further improve.
Okay, so
And
your rock starts slipping down, and then
mm,
again you try to push it. Maybe your team, maybe your, you know, the project. It can be anything, skill set, right, etc. How about
yeah,
in the personal life?
yeah, one more thing is same. I'm trying to do this PMP exam since
Mhm.
long time.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
study.
yeah,
I take it up seriously for some time,
yeah.
study, and then leave it.
Your rock slips
Leave it,
again.
leave it, and I forget it for say 1 year, 1.5 year. Then I think about it again,
Mhm.
and then I start that. So main thing is consistency.
Right.
So I'll not do it consistently
Mhm.
and leave it. So, after some time, I get tired and leave it, and then that is all. With respect to personal life with kids, if we want to make them disciplined, more more disciplined and to obey and to do the things well. So we push hard, and we try to talk to them, punish them, try to explain them. We put a lot of effort in that,
You
and
feel like, you know, they're getting better at
yeah,
it. They're
yeah,
becoming
yeah.
disciplined. Then suddenly, you know, that comes
Suddenly
again,
they'll back to
back to the same
that
position.
happens.
Again, you have to push. Okay, discipline, discipline, discipline. Again, it slips down. Right.
Mm. That is one thing.
This is life, and you know what? Like you rightly said, consistency is the key. Yeah, we need to be very, very consistent, and you need to, you know, have that kind of a mindset. And a lot of things are involved, and then it's a slow process. You know, it's a rock, and you know what? Frankly speaking, when your rocks slips, do you think it becomes smaller or it becomes bigger?
It becomes bigger.
It becomes bigger, right? And again you have to, and you know what, you have to restart things, right? So this is the reality of our life. Khalid bhai, how about you? What is one rock in your personal life as well as professional life that you're really trying to push very hard?
Professional life, career growth,
Okay.
and personal life, anger management.
Anger management. Okay, you really want to be, you know, stay calm, and then patience, and then something happens, you feel like okay, it's going well, something happens, again you burst out.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah,
again your rock
yeah,
slips, and you know what, your rock's size is becoming bigger and bigger, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, nice. How about Nawaz bhai? Nawaz bhai, are you there? Okay, I can't hear you. Roshan bhai?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Yes,
I
please.
am there with me. My kid is there. He is disturbing.
So
So
that's the biggest rock you are pushing right now.
now, currently, if I start speak, he will start speak.
Right, right.
If I send him out, also he is not. Yeah, he is not ready to go there.
That's fine. I mean, it's okay. As long as you're able to focus, that should not be a problem. So what is the biggest rock in your life?
Same thing. This controlling him itself is a big rock. This is rock now to me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Switch
How
on the
about
video then.
switch on the video? Okay. How about Roshan bhai? How about you?
Assalamu alaikum
Alaikum
warahmatullahi
salam,
wabarakatuh.
rahmatullahi barakatuhu.
I'm waiting for you when I get the chance to speak something.
Yeah, please
Okay.
go ahead. And what is the biggest rock in your professional life? And then you can talk about your personal life. What is that one rock
Uh,
that you're pushing?
as Wes Bhai was telling regarding discipline, the same thing I am also trying to push it. The main problem is I daily prepare one timetable to follow it, but I'm not. I will follow 1 or 2 days, but
Mhm.
next day again I forget about the timetable,
Yeah.
and after 1 week again I will prepare the one more timetable. So I have been trying this timetable for 10 years,
Oh
and
my
I'm
God.
maximum trying to bring my life according to that, but even
Okay.
then now
Wow.
also I'm not coming with that. I'm
Okay.
maximum I'm finding to bring my life according to that timetable, but it
Right.
is very difficult to follow after a few days.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
This is the biggest talk. Maximum I'm trying. If I bring my life according to the timetable, then I become a successor person.
Right. Is there a way to simplify this timetable, Roshan bhai? See, when I say simplify, how many activities do you have in the timetable? 10, 20,
It will be around the 25.
25
Uh,
activities?
yeah,
Okay. Why don't you do one thing? Why
25.
don't you break up the timetable and highlight maybe five important activities? Okay. Now what's happening is you're trying to follow the entire timetable. Okay. For
Yeah,
the last
yeah,
10
yeah,
years it's not happening, right? So now what you can
yeah,
do is you take up only five things from the timetable which is highly important to you, five things. And you have to be disciplined in those five things no matter what. As a self start, maybe you can try this.
yeah.
Then
Yes, yes. As per your suggestion, it is correct only. The thing is, sometimes I will follow all the things. And let me explain which are the activities I am going to follow. Which are the activities? First one is I start my timetable at 4 o'clock. That means Tahajjud Namaz.
Mhm,
Then after Tahajjud Namaz, Tilawat, Quran,
mhm,
Quran reading. Then and one more thing, what is that? After Fajr Namaz, then I try to pray the Fajr Namaz with the Takbirullah.
mhm.
And like this, five for Namaz,
Yeah, yeah.
five fries. Then next one is I'm sorry, I'm getting a call
No,
continuously.
that's fine. That's fine. No problem, Roshan bhai. I think you still, because it's a very lengthy process for a very long time. You have been doing this. I think you have to first prioritize. Okay, you need to give high priority to only those things that you really want to do it, no matter what, and then you can switch on to the rest of the things. And I'm sure discipline, it's not that easy to come. It needs lot of practice and patience. Only then, and it needs a lot of willpower as well. And I'm sure inshallah you can do that. That should not be a problem at all. All right.
Yes.
So moving on, let's try and understand the most important framework. Okay, it's mindfulness framework. Yeah. So for anything and everything that we do in our life, we need to have some kind of a plan, right? So whatever we do, for example, Roshan Bhai said he's trying to follow a timetable. It's nothing but his daily framework, that is the basic foundation the basic things that he wants to do on a daily basis and make sure he wants to stick to that and then follow it, and get the best results out of it, right? Similarly, whatever we do in our life, we need to have some kind of a basic structure. So mindfulness here, the framework for mindfulness here is the 10 bulls roadmap. Yeah. Now, this is a very, very interesting roadmap, designed by a person named Kuan. Yeah. And, according to him, this was designed in 11th century, okay? Between 11th and 12th century. This was the roadmap designed by Kuan. And, he was a guy who said the words are illusions. The word is just an illusion. Okay. Why the word is an illusion? And this is something he practiced in his life for 35 years. And then 35 years experience is what he put it on this 10 step, just a diagram. He drew it, 35 years of experience. He drew it on a paper in 10 steps. Okay. And this is eternal principle, I can say. This is life's eternal principle. This is life's most important action-oriented principle. And when I start explaining this to you, you will understand the reality of this. This 10 bull roadmap is action-oriented rule of anyone's life, of everyone's life. Okay. And now here, like I said, according to Kukuan, the words are just an illusion. And I agree to that. It's true. For example, if I tell a word, love, now, always by, you will have different understanding when I say love. Khalif bhai, Nawaz bhai, Roshan bhai, you will have different understanding when I say love. Right? When I say fear, now Nawaz bhai will have a different understanding when I say fear. And everyone will have a different understanding when I say fear. Right? When I say acha, right? The way we say acha, the way when we say acha, it has got different gestures, different meanings. The same thing happened in that, which is that movie, Amir Khan's. He always search for the God, right? In that movie, which is that movie? PK, right? PK. Now, the words are just an illusion. As simple as that. And now what he did was, he didn't want to write like 5,000 words or 500 pages book. This guy, what he did was, okay, now if I write my experience in words, it will have too much of confusion in people's life. So I will not write a book in words. What I will do is, I will simply draw a picture. And that is what he created. It's 10 bull roadmap. And this is true. This is real. This is practical. And this is action oriented. And what you see in this framework is, in this 10 bull roadmap is, you see a bull. Now, bull is something that we are seeking in our life. Bull is what? Something that we are seeking in our life. It can be happiness. It can be peace in our life, peaceful mind. It can be mindfulness. It can be wealth. It can be health. It can be success. It can be discipline. It can be anything that we are looking in our life. And the person you see in this map is the one who is seeking the bull. And the bull can be anything, like I said. And now in this training program, the bull is mindfulness. And the person is you and I. Okay. Now we are seeking mindfulness. Now, first thing what we'll do here is, Number one, okay, we are in search of mindfulness. The first step is we are in search of mindfulness, and you can compare this framework with anything that you want to seek in your life. Number one, in search of something, and here in this case, mindfulness. Number two is whenever we start searching for something, we start observing the footprints. Okay, now the bull has left the footprints. That means now let's say we are finding, we are searching for mindfulness. That means we start observing slowly. The moment we start practicing mindfulness exercises, activities, and so on, then we really start looking, observing the footsteps of mindfulness in reality in our life. Okay, then the third step is we'll start perceiving what we are seeing, what we are looking for. Perceiving, we start looking that particular thing. Here in this case, it's mindfulness. The fourth is we start catching that particular thing. In this case, the moment we perceive, the moment you start looking some part of the bull, that means we start catching. We have not seen the complete bull, the complete mindfulness, but you know what, we start catching by its tail. We start catching the mindfulness. After that, we start taming the mindfulness. Then we start riding mindfulness, right? Then we transcend, we go beyond the limit. Then we disappear. Then again we come back to the real world. Okay, this is a very, very beautiful journey that you are going through in this training program, and you will understand the practicality of these things. In reality, let's say you want something in your life, what do? First thing is you start, let's say let's take a project itself. You want to achieve that project, right? Okay, then you initially you start searching for the project, whatever thing it is, whatever task, whatever you want to do. You can take a dream, you can take your goal, you can take your ambition, whatever you want to do. First thing is you will start searching for it. When you start searching, when you start exploring, then you will start finding those footsteps. Then you find it. Then what you do is you try to catch it, you accept it, and then you try to tame, start working towards it, and then you ride it. That means you are expert on that. And then you know what, you transcend. That means you go beyond the limits. Now you're capable to go beyond the limits. And then again, after you complete that, you come back to the same position. For example, in this case, okay, let's take a practical example in your life. You work on a project in your school or office, right? Yeah, Khalid bhai, Nawaz, always bhai, Roshan.
Yeah,
You take
yeah.
a project, right? You take a project, you start working on it. And then in that process, you see so many ups and downs, right? So many challenges. You deal with the team, you manage team, you work on each and every aspect of that particular project. And then finally, you start from zero and then you complete it 100%. The moment you go through that journey and complete 100%, what is the final state of your mind? Don't you think you are back again to the zero position?
No.
Yes, we don't like to come back.
You're not coming back. But when
Yeah.
you started the project and completed it, and now the project is completely done, and again you're back to the original position. When you're back, that means now you are back to the original position with lots of experience.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right? You started with zero level, and then you completed, you went through all those challenges, all those problems, faced those silly teammates, team members, their challenges, those things, these things, work day and night, and then finally you made it, and then finally you delivered the project. And then once that's completed, now you are back to the same position where you started. And now when you are back to the same position, you are not the same person, you're completely a changed person. explored so many skills, you explored so many talents, you explored so many things, experiences, you saw so many ups and downs, challenges, and now you are a grown person, right? Now
More
you are
confident.
confident, grown completely, like a new person, and now you are ready to face the biggest problem, face the biggest challenge, face the biggest project, right? Now this
Yes.
is what is going to happen with this framework. Now you are starting with level 0, and then you start looking for the footprints of the mindfulness, and then you look for the mindfulness, you catch mindfulness, you tame mindfulness, you ride on mindfulness, and then you go beyond the limit, and then you disappear completely, and then again you come back to the real world, and then you are completely a changed person. Now you deal with staying with connected, being connected with the world. You are mindful. That's how the journey is. So this is the framework, and we will stick to this framework till the end of the program, so that you understand the practicality. This is an action oriented framework. Okay, now I
Can you
had
please, can you please repeat the seventh and eighth?
now once you start riding, now you are with yourself, right? You are with yourself, and the bull has disappeared. Now you are completely with yourself, and then now you both are disappeared. You're completely involved in that particular thing. This is the reality. When you're completely involved in the project, you know what, you are stuck with it. You're not worried about what's happening with the world until unless you go ahead and do that. And then finally you come out of that, and then you come back to the real world, ninth and 10th step. And then 10th, again you start mingling with the world, and now you are completely a changed person. You are highly skilled, highly energetic, highly talented, highly people oriented person, and so on. And again, using whatever journey you experienced, and you're completely a changed person, and now you are ready to accept a better and even the complex project. And in this case, now you are ready to accept yourself, you're ready to accept the world as it is. You're ready no matter what, and then you are ready to be mindful in every situation.
Uh,
Okay.
so does it mean like in the seventh step, though the bull is there, you have become so used to that you are not realizing that it is there?
Huh.
With what? Hmm?
Now you get used to that.
Huh.
Now you're all alone, and then you're completely vanished. Eighth step, you're completely gone. Like how you completely disappear yourself with, if you're involved in something, in your project, in your work. Think about those small moments, right? It's not completely entire journey of the project, but there will be one time, one moment of that project that you're completely disappeared. You're not connected to this world at all,
Hmm.
right? And then finally you start connecting, coming out of that, and then you see, then you know what, and then you come back to the real world, and then finally you see everything, and then you're back again to the same position, but with too much of experience in your life, and you're completely a changed person. And now that change is what is the result, the outcome of this program. And then now, no matter what the situation is, you are ready, ever ready to face it as it is. But there will be many activities that you will see what I'm speaking here. So practically you will understand. Okay.
Actually, Wasim bhai,
Mm-hmm.
I am bait with Hazrat
Yeah.
Naqshbandiya silsila. Everyone knows, I think. So what happens is uh, there will be some lessons in that silsila. So
Yes.
what happens is when you take up first level, second level,
Mm-hmm.
there are 35 lessons.
Right.
So when you go one step ahead,
Right.
you will be fanafilla will be one word is there.
Right.
So your soul will be completely dedicated to Allah.
Of course.
So yeah, this seventh, eighth, ninth is what it is. When you
Right.
go to that level,
Mm-hmm.
so you will be completely uh, accepting everything Allah gives you,
Exactly.
and you will be your soul will be completely dedicated to Allah. So that
Exactly.
is what happens. These are
Yes.
the levels. When
Exactly.
you cross all these levels, you will become dedicated.
Exactly. Now you are in the unconscious state here. Now mindfulness will actually become your skill here. Like, driving, right? You keep driving. Even, when you are in the trance state, right? Even on the highways, people, they drive even by closing their eyes. Drivers, they sleep, but actually, right? And now unconsciously the hands are moving, the brake is happening, those things are happening when you're in the trance state. And now mindfulness here, even in the unconscious state, you will be mindful. I hope, inshallah, that's going to happen, right? It's a very beautiful, interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and explore more. And now let's start understanding the first step. Okay, here the first step is in search of mindfulness. Okay, now you are searching for mindfulness. Okay, now look at this statement. It's a really beautiful and interesting one. It says, in the pasture of this world. Pasture here means, you have uh, the plants, grasses, like you're in the you're going, you're moving the plants and then grasses, and then you are searching for something, right? So that's what it means. Now you're endlessly pushing aside the tall grasses, the plants, and so on, and you're searching for your bull. And the bull here is, it can be anything, but in this case I'm talking about mindfulness now. And whenever you're following those, the path in search of, what's happened is, you will come across some unnamed rivers. Here rivers can be the obstacles that you come across, maybe the ups and downs and the challenges, whatever it is, and then completely you will be lost by interpenetrating those parts of distant mountains. Like, it can be the big challenges, the small challenges, and those you're not able to interpret those things. And you put a lot of efforts, the strength, and what, that will fail, and you'll get exhausted in the search of mindfulness. And you cannot find the bull, even after putting a lot of efforts, even after going through a lot of challenges, a lot of things, and so on. Still you're not able to find the bull. But what you hear is, you only hear the locusts cheering through the forest at night. And now, in this search, during this search of mindfulness, maybe you hear some kind of inner voice that says, hey, you know what, Nawaz, you cannot, man, you cannot find me. Just forget it. There is this inner you. There is another you within you. He says, it's our own self critic. It says, no, you cannot, forget it. Why are you doing this? No, ignore it. Right? So this is actually the real thing that's going to happen in our life. And now please be ready for this amazing journey. This is something that's going to happen in your life. Now, going to the state of mindfulness is not really easy, because we are living in the age of distraction. That's why I told you, it needs a lot of practice. It needs lot of practice, and you need to experience each and everything, and that will happen naturally, because we are already mindful. I just want to make it clear, we are already happy, we are already honest, we are already disciplined, we are already hardworking, we are already mindful, we are already careful, we are already truthful, we are already faithful. But there is something external factor that is affecting us to be mindful, to be happy, to be healthy, to be faithful, to be truthful. The external things, those are stopping us. And you know what, our own self within us, there is one more person. We call it nafs, right? In Urdu we call it nafs. I call it as another you. Within us there is another you, who has become the best friend of the external factors. The external factors can be shaitan, the external factors can be evil things, the external factors can be those things which this another you is wants to be associated with, wants to enjoy in this life. Those things actually stop us to explore the real potential of our self-being. It can be happiness, truthfulness, faithfulness, honesty, hardworking. amazing, smartness, genius, wonderful, extraordinary. We are already extraordinary. We are already amazing. We are already beautiful. We are already wonderful, right? And now, being a human being, we have to get trained to pull those things outside, right? And that's why this training program is. Else, of course, we are already mindful, but the distraction is dominating. It is controlling our mindfulness, and now we have to dominate that distraction to become mindful. Okay, just to give you more explanation on searching for mindfulness in this case. Now, we have a burning desire to seek what we really want, right? And we have been separated from this searching aimlessly. And now the problem is we are searching aimlessly. And during this search, we come across many road cross, many paths, which will actually help us to lead to the bull. And now, because of the fear, because of the challenges we are not able to face to, because of the confusion, because of lack of understanding, we completely get lost during this process. Okay, and now that is not going to happen, because now this program is designed in such a way that is going to at any cost help you find the one which is already available within you, and then you start making it more stronger, so that if something external factor dominates it, you are ready to face it. It starts dominating that particular stuff. Okay.
Wasim bhai, I want to share one thing which
Yeah.
happened recently with me
Mm-hmm.
during this the lockdown time.
Yeah.
As you know very well, in schools never started any online classes.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first time in all the world, all the schools giving online classes
Yes.
for the students. And this was a big project for me,
Mm-hmm.
which was given by management to handle. It was a big challenge also for me to help the
Right.
students, those who are studying in class 1 and 2.
Okay.
So as I
And
started
what was the
this
bull here? What
project,
was your bull here?
my goal is this only project, online classes.
Exactly. Now,
I
to be
wanted, yeah,
specific, you wanted to, start off online classes in your institution was the bull, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And now
yes.
you started your journey in search of what? Your bull. How to
Uh,
bring that, and then you started your journey. You went through so many things, challenges, and so on and so on and so on. You know what, this is the same framework that you can connect with this journey. Now you started your journey started, right? And then
yeah,
you
yeah,
started finding the footprints, like how you can do.
yes,
You
yes,
started looking at it. Oh, there is a possibility. Yeah, the footprints is nothing but, oh yeah, there is a possibility. And then you saw the tail of the bull. Yes, there is
yes,
a tool. Okay, let me catch it. Now you got hold of the bull, and then you started chasing it, and then you started taming it, and then
yes,
you started riding on it, and then finally you start implementing that. Now during this process, I'm sure you have
yeah,
gone
yeah,
through lot of challenges, so many ups and downs, and then finally, you know what, you made it. Now you found your bull, and the bull is there, and it is going as it is. Now you don't have to worry. Now you are expert. Now completely you are a unique person. Now you started at level 0, you completed this 100%, and now the management has completely a different perception on you. Now you yourself have a completely different perception on yourself, because you are a completely experienced person in the entire institution. Then that makes you completely unique, different, right? Do you want to add anything else?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. One thing I want to say you, that is what I
Wasim bhai,
wanted to
I
explain
lost
completely
audio. I'm
regarding this.
unable to hear you.
Please
Yeah,
rejoin
same,
audio. Please reconnect to audio, Khalid bhai.
Even yeah, your voice was striking. I also not heard you clearly. Okay, but now okay. One thing I wanted to share. What is that? In the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
as I took this project, I never expected I will succeed. I will get succeed in this project.
Mm-hmm.
But think I had a confidence. That is the one thing helped me to bring this project successful.
Right.
Now, first I started with the class 10 students.
Mm-hmm.
Then now we have reached up to class 1. So from next week, we are going to start the classes for class 1. And now we got very good feedback. And one more thing, our school management maximum collected the fees from the student. That is the
Right.
what very good benefit. And he forgot all the teachers except me,
Yeah.
and he's thinking now because of me only these admissions have continued,
Right.
as well as so many students also taken the admission, those who were planning to join in other school,
Right.
except
Yeah.
in our school
Mm-hmm.
nobody started the online classes.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And this is as per your suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm really feeling something different,
Yeah.
because I never expected I will succeed in this, but I taken the project
Right.
because of only one thing. I had confidence I can succeed this.
Yes. Yes. Mm. True. True. See, until unless we don't explore, okay, something that we want to do, we will not know our real potential.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Now you have taken a decision to explore mindfulness, which is already there, but something is dominating and that has overtaken it, that has become more stronger than mindfulness. And
Yeah,
now
yeah,
what we have to do is we have to kick out that dominant thing from our life, make it weaker, and then we have to improve, make our mindfulness stronger.
yes.
So once we do that, then you will be amazed to see the amount of results that you'll be achieving or getting in your life. Okay.
Yeah, finally, I want to conclude with one point.
Yeah.
So, we already, as per your suggestion, we have lot of information in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, we are not taking challenge, and we are not bringing confidence in our life. That is the
Right.
main thing. So we are going back. We are not trying anything. We can achieve everything if we
Yes. Yes.
try.
Right, definitely, and that needs lot of discipline, Roshan bhai. So we want to achieve something without discipline, without that 100% commitment. I don't think so. We can do anything until unless we are serious about something, on achieving something. We will not achieve. If you are 100% serious about something, you want to do it at any cost. You want to achieve it, and if you are disciplined and if you really work hard, then trust me, we can achieve anything we want in our life. So that's how it is. This is the basic things. People understand it. The problem with people is we do what we don't want to do, and we don't do what we want to do. That's how it is. We know if we get up early in the morning and exercise, we can stay healthy. We know that. We know if we get up early morning and then drink warm water, it's good for our health. We know if we eat food by dividing our stomach in three parts, okay? First part for food, for second part for water, third part for air. We know if we follow that, no disease can, attack us. We know that. But still, the problem with people is we do that. What we do is we do opposite to that, because we feel there is a fun in that, there is enjoyment in that, there is some different kind of experience in that. People, they don't want to exercise, they want to stay relaxed. People, they don't want to divide their tummy in three parts, they want to eat till here neck, because they like it. That's how it is. That's the reality. But to face these things, we need too much of discipline. We need actually a lot of discipline and that commitment. When that comes in our life, yeah, things will completely change. Okay, so let's see. I have one simple exercise here. I want you to please take a book and a pen and write down few points. Okay, let me know when you're ready. So now the exercises journey starts. Okay, there will be exercises, there will be activities, and so on. So at 7 o'clock, we will have one guest speaker. So he will be joining and he will be sharing a lot of his experiences on different topics. The exercises. So whenever you were mindful, okay, I'm sure in our life we have been mindful. For example, I know we all here are fathers, right? Yeah, we all here are fathers. And now,
Yes.
when first time when we took our baby and the moment we saw, do you think you remember any other thing apart from that phase, that feeling, those emotions? You know, mindfulness is actually, I can say, moment to moment awareness of our thoughts, our emotions, our body sensations, the external sensations, without any judgments or without any, right? And now, for the first time when you took your baby in your hand, your own baby in your hand, do you think you were mindful or you're not mindful?
You are mindful.
Definitely every father was mindful first time they took it. And you know what that means? They forgot everything. They were completely involved. Their thoughts were on baby, the emotions were on baby, those sensations that happened in our body were completely involved in our baby, right? And we forgot, we were not able to even listen to external sounds. Our mind got stuck in that feeling. We were not able to see, even though our eyes were open, we were not able to see the rest of the world. We were completely into that mindfulness state. We were into the mindful state, right? Yeah. Now, apart from that, I just gave you one example. Now, can you observe today? I want you to observe today. Can you think of one incident, one time today, since morning? When was that time you really felt that you were mindful? No, we don't know. We forgot. Right? No, no. So does that mean you were not even mindful in this training? You were not listening to me? Okay, do one thing. I want you to grab a glass of water, okay? Please get up, go, grab a glass of water. Maybe let it be a bit of cold, let it be a bit cold so that, you know, you can experience it. Just grab a glass of water. I want that to be in a glass, okay? Not bottle. Everyone, let me know when you're ready. Grab a glass of water. Okay, who is ready? Is everyone ready? Khalid bhai, Nawaz, Roshan bhai. And I want everyone to switch on the camera. It's very important. Khalid bhai, Nawaz, Roshan bhai.
Wasim bhai, I could not hear something from you. You were telling something about water.
I want you to grab a glass of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, please grab a glass of water.
Sure.
Nawaz bhai, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes.
Okay. Nawaz bhai, ready? Now, you know, see, since morning, you actually drank a lot of water, right? Since morning, you
Yeah.
actually drank a lot of water. But now, at this moment, okay, at this moment, I want you to drink water, take a sip, okay? And now you have to experience. Now, I'm asking you to be mindful. The moment you drink water, you have to feel water in your mouth. See, water is touching your teeth, your tongue, and you swallow slowly, and then it's touching everywhere. You feel it, and then it's entering inside your body, and you are experiencing the taste. You're experiencing every single thing when you drink water. Okay, please go ahead, start, drink, sit straight, drink, and I want you to experience every single thing, the flavor, the color, everything. So Roshan bhai, Uwais bhai is still
But
experiencing the natural source. Yeah, looks like Uwais bhai is experiencing for the first time. Okay, let's hear it
but
from Uwais bhai. Uwais bhai, come on, tell, what was your experience? See, you have been drinking water since morning, right? Now you were mindful of this. It's You were mindful of this activity. You drank water, and you know what? Your thoughts were on water. You experienced it. Your emotions were on water, right? You felt it, every single. It's not just drank good. You didn't drink it. You experienced every drop of water. It touching your tongue, your tooth. Then you swallowed it, and then you felt water entering in your tummy. You felt it. Tell me about your experience.
It was nice experience. Yeah, it was a relaxing experience.
See,
So
it's a very natural process. We do every single day. Khalif bhai, how about you? Did you enjoy it? It's a very simple thing, but what was your experience?
Uh,
even now also, Wes is drinking water
Yeah.
and getting more taste.
See, we will start off with very simple activities. Okay, we will start off with our regular daily tasks that we do, so that, because that's something that we do every single day until we die, right? That's why I took this example, this activity. But there's so many other activities which will be coming. But with this activity, how was your experience, Khalif bhai?
yeah, actually, I was listening to one doctor.
Mhm.
His name is Sharafat Ali. He tells that we have to what we say चूसना बोलते हैं ना.
हाँ हाँ.
He tells to चूस के पीना पानी बोलते हो,
Okay.
Yeah.
क्योंकि it helps whatever the problems you are getting on kidneys everything
Mhm.
that will not be there.
Right.
So I was thinking about that thing
Acha.
when I was experiencing.
Is it?
Normally we unconsciously we drink.
Exactly.
Now
Exactly.
now I was very much conscious
Conscious.
when I was drinking.
Yeah. So see, when we drink, we don't even taste water, right? It is tasty,
Yeah, yeah,
but we don't even
Yeah.
feel it. We're drinking juice also sometimes, and we don't even, unconsciously, everything is going in our body. That's why the condition, our physical condition is like that, right? So whenever we focus on eating, right, that's the most important part of our day. We have to, you know what, we have to completely focus on just eating first. I will give one more activity today. Okay, for today's activity as part of this program is, when you eat dinner today, okay, when you eat dinner today, first for 2-3 minutes only look at food. First thing, okay? Only look at food, whatever it is. It can be rice, it can be dal, it can be chicken, it can be mutton, whatever it is. First only look at food for a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, and then you feel it. Every single thing you're taking, you're adding, you have to feel the touch of spoon, everything. And then you are mixing food, and then you are eating. Now during this time you're not supposed to talk with anyone, only focus on eating. And when you eat, you enjoy, you feel, you taste every single thing. The taste of rice, the taste of chutney, the taste of meat, the taste of everything. And you eat, you enjoy the food. You spend like 15-20 minutes, completely focus on that and see how you feel. It will be amazing, outstanding, amazing experience, as long as the food is tastier. I hope the food is tasty. Yeah, I'm sure whatever the taste is, you will definitely enjoy. Give it a try. You have been, completely unmindful of what you were eating, since morning or even in the past. Today, you have to do this. Spend time, 15-20 minutes only with yourself and food, nothing else. Enjoy those moments. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this experience means before half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So before joining this program, I ate two mangoes.
Wow.
So as per you, I was watching 2 to 3 minutes to those mangoes,
Right.
and the main thing is I wanted to test whether it is in good condition or bad condition, because
No.
some of the spoiled we cannot eat now.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was completely good. Another thing, when I cut the mangoes,
Mm-hmm.
then after eating, really, I first time I think in my life I thank to God after eating the mango.
See.
Then really God gave very taste in the mangoes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Now this
I went
time
again.
today, today. Now
I
please
went
make
again.
sure
I took
you go
two
for
more
dinner.
mangoes, two
Now
more
dinner,
mangoes,
go for
and
dinner, go for
yeah,
dinner, and you
yeah, I
have
have
to be
to.
thankful to your wife today, and she'll be surprised. What? Khana acha tha, tasty tha. Now you will be thankful
Yeah,
because you never felt, that taste your wife prepares, right? Now,
every day I'm complaining to her because she will not add the salt in that.
now today, go for it. Enjoy the food even without salt, okay? And you should be
Okay, okay.
thankful for all those hard work they put in to prepare food for you, especially. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go for something very interesting. Okay. Now I want you to look at these two pictures. Okay. Now tell me what is happening in these two pictures.
Uh, when wife is not well, husband will not is unable to take care of her. But when husband is not well, wife take cares.
Okay. What about the second picture?
Why? Because she's, yeah. Second picture only I have told.
Okay. Okay.
When he is
First
not
picture.
well, husbands, men will not be that much uh, soothing or caring.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where's Bhai? How about you?
Um, I'm not able to make out much. So yes.
Okay. ठीक है. नवाज पे रोशन भाई. we'll do one thing. We'll take 10 minutes break. Okay, we'll take 10 minutes break. We will offer maghrib, and sharp 7 o'clock we have to be in the class. Right now azan is going on. I think 5 minutes is enough to offer maghrib namaz. We'll complete that, and 7 o'clock sharp, inshallah, we will connect.
Okay, okay, sure.
Okay.
Question is how we can make sure we can kick them out of our life, those unnecessary external factors, and then we can start working on our core strength qualities, which are happiness, mindfulness, peace of mind, and so on. So I think I'm really excited to explore this mindfulness, and somewhere I got lucky to be part of Happitude, and then they have been very helpful, and then they're always there to guide us, just in case if you're not able to catch up with something. And then now I'm extremely happy that they have this new concept called as unlimited access to the materials. So that's the package they have launched, and I have connected with them to understand what is that and so on, because Happitude course I did in 2018, from the happiness certification, and I completely forgot a lot of concepts. Actually, I need a brush up on those things, and then I have a lot of plans to start off with the happiness programs as well.
Yeah, I just finished the Aptitude last week.
You did? Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When I did, we did not have access to any such materials and so on. Luckily, now they have this LMS, and now because of LMS, we can go to the recordings and then those training materials and so on. That will be really, I think now they have come very long way compared to 2018. They have a lot of things established, and then they have a lot of things organized and associated. The relevant training materials are available just in case if you want to go through all those things.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you so much, sir. Prashant, sir, thank you so much for joining us today.
You are saying.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to our mindfulness training session. And so we have in our training session, we have project managers working in different companies, and we have the managers taking care of the entire process. And also we have the embedded system developers and the head of the department of one of the international schools. So with this, Prashant, sir, I'm going to give controls to you so that you can take control of the slides, and then you can start off with the training session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm okay. Okay, so good evening, everybody, and hope you're all doing well. Thank you, Wasim, for inviting me for this session. It's an honor for me to speak to all the lovely people here and give them a few insights on how to be mindful. You know, especially in these times, you know, when it's really tough, thanks to COVID. You know, there are so many points of uncertainty in our life. What will help us, you know, pass through these uncertain times is being mindful. It's really helped me a lot personally, and I hope this session, you know, what I would like to share with you all, you know, 20, 25, 30 minutes would help you all as well. During my session, I'll share a story with you all, and we can have a couple of exercises to do which are very simple and we can do on a regular basis as well. So without further ado, I'll quickly start by, you know, sharing my slide with you all. Wasim, I'm not able to do that. If you could just flip to the next slide, please.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, here's something that, I'd like to share with all of you. Also, mindfulness is not just being aware. It is also about being effective to the world. A lot of people will tell you that being mindfulness is you have to be aware of your surroundings, you have to be aware of everything around you, you have to be aware of the smallest of noise, what's happening, the colors, everything. Yes, it is correct, but it's not only about that. Once you're aware of this, you will be able to be more effective to the world in so many things that you do. Yeah, that's why the saying mindfulness is not about just being aware, but it is also about being effective to the world. Yeah. Could you go to the next slide, please, Vasim? So here I'll love to share a small story with you all. It's a story about a monk. And it's a very, very ancient story. 600-700 years ago, you had a lot of people who used to travel from one place to another place. They would never stay typically in one place. They would typically travel a lot with their family. So they would stay in one place for 3-4 years, and then go and stay in another place for the next 3-4 years, and again travel, with their tribes, with their families. They used to continuously travel. So that's how the way of life was. And that's where this story comes from. So every time a tribe used to travel, before they entered a village, there was this monk, who used to live slightly outside the village. And they used to ask this monk a very simple question, you know, how is this place? Is this a good place for my family? Is this a good place for my tribe to settle down for the next 2 to 3 years where I can live? And the monk would simply ask them one question, you know, where have you come from? So they used to say that, oh, I've come from a place which was not so good. We had stayed with a lot of liars. We stayed with a lot of bad people. We stayed with a lot of corrupt people. They were not good, and we did not enjoy it. And the monk used to simply tell them, you will find the same here. And then you had another set of people who used to ask the monk the same question, you know, that, how is it here to stay? Is it a good place? And the monk would once again ask them the same question, where are you from? And they used to say, oh, we are from a place where we celebrate all the festivals. We have very good neighbors. We have very helpful people. We would not want to shift, but because of the climatic conditions, we had to shift. We were very happy there. Everybody was so nice. We used to gel together. We used to work together. They were very helpful. And the monk used to say, you will find the same here. So no matter what the questions they would ask, it's all inside us. And the monk would say, you will find the same here. So the key concepts of mindfulness is really that we need to be aware of ourselves, and we need to see how we perceive ourselves. How much can I love other people? How much can I trust other people? How much can I contribute? How much can I participate? How good a parent I am? How good a father I am? How good a neighbor I am? And all these come in different ratios in our life, some 20, some 40, some 80%. We might change from place to place. We might even change our companies if we don't like it. And I'm saying companies because we've got people who are working in professional outfits here. It only changes the external. It does not change what happens internally. And who can bring that change? I'd like to ask this question to all of you. Who can bring that change?
It is we
Ourselves.
ourselves.
It's a choice. Yeah, it is only you who can bring that change. Yeah, as I said, the monk, no matter what question you asked him, he used to say, that you will find the same here. Yeah, and it is us who can bring that change. I'll quickly move to another story. Wasim, if you could just please shift. This is something which is very, very similar to all of us. We talk about treasure and we talk about trash. Yeah, treasure hunters and trash collectors. It seems that there are two types of people. One is the treasure hunters and one is the trash collectors. The first thing the treasure hunters do every day, that they seek out what is useful and what is positive for them. They focus on it, they talk about it, they share it, they think about it regularly, and each of these moments that they do, they treasure it like a very bright shining jewel in their life, and they store it like a treasure with them on a regular basis. Whatever we treasure in our lives, we store it ourselves, whatever we like. Even if you buy a new phone, we treasure it and say, oh my God, it's a new phone, I have to keep it well. Yeah. And then there are trash collectors who spend their lives looking at what is wrong, what is not working. My boss I'm not happy with, he's giving me so much work, or he's biased, he's giving him less work, I would be more happier in my previous company. They focus on the energy, the time, and the thoughts on trash. And every day they put that trash into a big trash can. And these treasure hunters proudly carry that trash into the future, whereas the trash people carry it, which is heavy, which smells, and to the next day. And this is what all of us do on a regular basis, knowingly or unknowingly. There are certain things that we treasure and we cherish, and we continue to think positive things about it. And on the other hand, there are so many things that we keep to ourselves, buried deep inside, and carry it with us every single day, which makes it even more heavier for us. Yeah. A small exercise that I will give you all. Wasim, if you could please shift to the next page. Yeah. And this is an exercise for all of us. The choice is ours. We need to decide and ask ourselves, and how do we reflect on our lives? Do we want to be treasure hunters, or do we want to be trash collectors? Yeah. One question to all of us is, why do we think this way? Why do we think this way? Anybody?
Yeah, we would like to be. I would like to be a treasure hunter so that I can.
Sorry, I can't hear you clearly, always.
Yeah, I can. I want to be a treasure hunter so that I can appreciate whatever I get.
Okay.
I see whatever is good for me. I just accept it and I appreciate it, and I want to carry it forward.
Yeah.
And
The
if
question is,
I
why
don't
do we
like,
think that way? Whatever we think, either it is trash or either it is treasure. Why do we think that way?
Expectations. When we don't meet the expectations, then we think in that way.
If we are having planning, we can move one by one. If we don't have planning anything, we can't do anything.
And who makes those expectations? Who makes those expectations? Who makes it such a big expectation?
We ourselves make those expectations. Uh, what I think is, whatever we plan, we don't plan it in a step by step way. We want to directly jump to some level, and we expect that we meet it. So that is where we fall.
Yes, sometimes we expect more than we can even deliver. Or there's a very popular saying in English: we can eat more than we can actually chew. In Hindi there is this term called ahankar. So the more you chase your dreams, actually the bigger the ahankar. And then we realize as individuals that this is something that we will not be able to fulfill. And that's where all the trash starts coming in. That's where we don't think positive, because our ahankar is so big, and ahankar is nothing but ego. So and this happens to all of us. When we didn't have a cycle, we said, I wish I had a cycle. When we had a cycle, I wish I had a motorbike. When I had a motorbike, I wish I had a car. And when I wish I had a car, I got a car, I wish I had a better car or a helicopter. Without realizing that, is this something that we need? Is this something that we can treasure? That happiness that we get is for very short-lived. But to put it in simple terms, the cost that we need to pay for that thing is going to be for a longer term. We bought a nice iPhone 10, iPhone 11. We feel very happy. Wow, I got an iPhone 10. I got an iPhone 11. Wow, it's for 1 lakh rupees. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then we realize that, oh my God, I have to continue paying for this, or I have paid for this. Now it is really expensive. And that is the ahankar which talks. Yeah. Is this what we want to be? Yes, to the audience.
Yeah, we should set our expectation to whatever we can meet, and enjoy the whatever small things we have.
Very, very right. Very right, OS. What else?
And if we set our expectations to the achievable goals, we enjoy achieving them without much effort. And yeah.
Okay. And there's one
We
more
have
question.
to enjoy what we are doing.
Perfect. 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 And how can you do that? How can you enjoy every moment that you are doing?
We should not have more expectation.
It's like a vicious cycle, yeah?
We have to decide on the basis of our level how much we can expect, how much we can get. If you are expecting more than that, then it is difficult to achieve. Then we will become upset.
Okay.
I would say find happiness in small little things rather than finding happiness in the bigger things, because ultimately our ego starts speaking when we go to that level. Like Prashant sir said, when we start looking for happiness in small little things, when the kid, let's talk about our real life, the kids, they are always look happiness in small little things. You give them a chocolate, you give them 1 lakh rupees, or you just give them one chocolate. They always look for those, the chocolate. Even though they say you will get 1 lakh chocolates, 1 rupee ka 1 lakh chocolates in this amount, they're least bothered about it. Okay, I want this small little chocolate. That gives me the best happiness. Now, once we start looking for the small little things, happiness in small little things, I think we can be more happy, we can be more mindful, and then our perception will completely change when we start looking at our life. So I think that's
so true.
This is possible. Whatever Wasim sir said, this is possible when you think about that moment only. See, he's a child, so at that point of time, he thinks about only the chocolate only. He cannot think about the money.
I mean, that's the problems. I think that's the real problem. We are grown older. Okay, there is no denial on that. So I really do not deny on that. We are growing old, right? Every single day, and the child is also growing. It's just our thought process. There is a child hidden within us, right? See, for example, let's say you take a baby in your hand, and you actually, trust me, you do not behave like an adult. You instead, you go to the child level, you say kuchi kuchi, baby, how are you? Start behaving something different, that you're not that, but at that particular moment you start behaving like a child because you are dealing with a child, right? And then that childishness is always there, and that's something we have to tamper. And I think that's the thing many people are doing in this 21st century, to bring out of those hidden things which we had in our childhood. For example, let's talk about this mindfulness. Don't you think the child is more mindful compared to adults? And now we are adults, right? And now we are going to child's level just to tamper what? Mindfulness. Yeah, now we have to become a child in order to tamper the hidden potential of our life. That's the happiness, the most important qualities. It can be happiness, peace of mind, or it can be curiosity, for that matter. It can be mindfulness, and many things.
Yeah.
Just to add to what Wasim said, let me just remind all of us that we were all kids once upon a time. What changed? We all were happy with that one chocolate, and now we are not even probably happy with 1 lakh rupees. What changed? Yeah, today.
That time our knowledge was poor.
Sorry.
I think Roshan is trying to say that we had no knowledge at that time when we were kids. But you know what? Luckily, we are knowledgeable now. But why are we not happy? Why are we not mindful? Right?
No, our expectations were less, and
See, at that level, our expectations were really high, frankly speaking, when we were child. At that level.
Yeah. So, just to add a small exercise, if all of us can do, maybe after this session, count how many number of times do we smile in a day. A child on an average smiles anywhere between 300 to 400 times a day, whereas an adult smiles anywhere between 20 to 30 times a day.
Not
And that
even
is
10%.
Yeah, so maybe we can do this small exercise, all of us, once the session is over later, or maybe you can start first thing in the morning. Count how many times do you smile a day, and towards the end of the day make a count and ask yourself, every time you smiled, how did you feel?
It's a beautiful observation.
Yeah, very simple exercise. It's very simple, and it costs nothing. It's free
Very
of cost.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So the question on the whole treasure and trash exercise is, what actions is one going to take to have this approach in your life? Do you want treasure or do you want trash? You can speak to your friends, you can speak to your family members, have this discussion so everybody is on the same page, and ask yourself what actions you can take to change this approach in your life. Yeah, because all of us, I think, are so caught up in our day-to-day lives, with so much of tension, so much of pressure. I think the next exercise is also going to help all of us. If you can, Wasim, just please move to the next slide. Yeah, we are all, we spoke about babies, thank you for bringing that up, Wasim. Now, if we've all seen babies breathe, they breathe from the belly. They never breathe from the chest. They always breathe from their stomach. And that is the best way to breathe, because that is tension-free breathing. Yeah. So we'll do a quick exercise here. I want you all to put your chest, one chest on your hand and one chest on your stomach, and take a breath and release the breath. Do it twice. One hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Once you do that, ask yourself, where are you breathing from? Are you breathing from the chest or are you breathing from the belly? In all likelihood, most of y'all will be breathing from the chest. Is that correct? And that is what is not what we are supposed to do. Yeah, because as children, we used to breathe from the belly. And when we become adults, we take shorter breaths. As we grow older and we start breathing from the chest. So a simple exercise, what one must do is either you can sit and do it or you can stand and do it. It's very simple. Yeah. Now let's do a series of 10 breaths. Yeah. Let me play some music as well. Yeah. Just hold on. Okay. Fine. What I want you all to do is inhale through your nostrils and exhale through your nostrils, one hand on the chest and one hand on the stomach, and concentrate where you are breathing from. Slowly and steadily you will realize that you would have started breathing from the belly. Yeah. One sec, let me just play the music.
Let the breathe be normal breathe. I see some people are doing deep breathing. If you do deep breathing, so obviously that will be breathing from your belly. So like a normal one.
Yeah. Close your eyes, put your one hand on the chest and one on the stomach. Let's do 10 to 12 breaths. Slowly. You don't have to rush. Slowly. Slowly open your eyes. Yeah. Were you all able to breathe through the belly? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or simply, even if you stand and focus and look in front of a mirror and do this exercise, it will not take one more than 2 or 3 minutes a day. And this even calms all your nerves and will also help you think more clearly and more mindfully. Yeah, so this is another simple exercise. Yeah, so Wasim had given me 30 minutes. I think I will stick to my exact 30 minutes. I'll move to my last slide, Wasim, if you can, please. Yeah, so I love watching movies, and one of my most favorite movies is Kung Fu Panda. And in that, you know, if you all have seen it, his master is talking to the panda, and the panda is very upset in life, and he doesn't know what to do, you know, because all of a sudden they have made him the dragon warrior, and he's upset. And you know, he keeps telling, what do I do, what do I do, don't know, you know, how can I do it? So his master tells him one very simple thing. He says, yesterday was history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That is why it's called the present. So live in the present. Yeah. So on that note, I think my 30 minutes are just about up. Thank you, Wasim.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody else for participating.
Thank you very much, Prashant sir. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And before ending this session, I just want to say one thing, one final thing. That's continuation of the breathing exercise. And then I know I have already asked you to do one activity today, especially when you eat your dinner today. You know what? You have to completely focus on your food for a few minutes. Just have a look at the food, then enjoy the flavor, then see the color, how it looks, and so on. And when you start eating, please make sure you are only focusing. All the five senses are completely engaged while you're eating. And for the first time, I think you're going to compliment your wife for preparing beautiful, tasty food. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today, when I started my program, my session, I told you that the universe is in mindful state, right? Our body is in mindful state. It's just we are not in mindful state. And now, see, whenever the lion starts attacking one animal and then it starts eating, do you think the lion eats that particular maybe deer or whatever it is to the fullest? No, never. It eats only what is required. And then when it goes to sleep, you know how it breathes? It starts breathing from its tummy. Have you observed that on the channel, on maybe the Discovery Channel and so on? When it attacks, it eats what is required, okay, only so much, and then it goes back and then it starts taking rest. And when it goes for a sleep, it starts breathing from belly. The problem with us is animals are mindful, the planet is mindful, the trees are mindful, birds are mindful. The thing is, when we eat and when we go for sleep, the problem is we can't breathe. Right? And the thing is, yeah, there is some process that we have to follow when we eat. That is, we have to break our tummy in three different parts. One part is for food, the second part is for water, the third part is for breathing, right? So with this, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you will do this activity, and on a daily basis I will also be sharing the activities so that you can go ahead and start completing those activities. So a special thank you to Prashant sir for joining us today. So thank you so very much for joining us today. And also I will be following you, sir. I'll be joining that Team 7 meeting now, because I didn't know that is extending. So
Sure.
thank you so much for letting me know. So
Good.
I will follow you. So thank you so much with us
All right.
for joining today.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks
so much.
everybody. Good
Bye,
day.
sir.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Take care. Bye, everyone. Bye. Take care. Thank you so much for joining us today.